The one over my left shoulder is a 2015 Toyota Tacoma Limited. The one on my right shoulder is a 2016 Toyota Tacoma Limited. Now, these may have some features that are slightly different than others. Like the one on the right, the white one, or the one on your left. The white one has a sunroof. The blue one does not. They're both limited models though. And in this video, I want to show you some of the differences between the two. There are tremendous differences. One feels, well, I'll show you. But first I'm going to start off with some similarities. Both trucks are crew cab. They both have 4 doors. Both are limited. See there? Limited. Both are 4x4. Both have these side steps. See the side steps there? Both have tow packages. Both are V6. They both have upgraded wheels, but that's just about where the similarities end. The white one is like super nice. It's almost like from 15 to 16, 2 different truck makers made 2 different trucks. So let's look at the inside. And no, let's look at some of the outside features and then we'll go inside, and that's where you're going to really see the biggest differences between these 2 trucks. I do want to say that this is not going to be like a full spec comprehensive comparison between the 2 where we talk about all the different technical specs and measurements and all that. We're just making general observations here. So if you have something better to do, by all means, do that. Take a look at the front end of the 15. It looks nice and everything. You see the chrome surround around the grille, the chrome surrounds around the fog lights. You've got some cool little designs there. Now take a look at the 16 grille. Fog lights, grille, blah, blah, blah. But everything looks like it's all kind of more put together on the 16 than the 15. You see that? Also, I don't know if the headlights are LED on the 16, but you see that bulb right there? That looks like an LED bulb to me. And here's the 15. That's definitely a halogen bulb. I guess it could be HID or something, but the headlights are a lot different. The front end of the 16 looks like the front of a 4Runner. It looks a lot more distinguished, more pronounced. And it looks like there was a lot more time that went into the design of the 16. Of course, you know, there's upgrades year for year. And now let's play Which Tailgate is Better? You can see the bits and pieces all right there, right? You've got this little thing here, but then there's like bits and pieces there. It's almost like there's a guard there so that all of that is not seen or exposed or something. The 16 has these things and they break up the air that goes off of the plastic and kind of routes air around the tire. 15 ain't got no vortex emulators. Huh. 15. I'm just kidding, y'all. I'm not knocking this truck by any means. This is a fantastic truck. The design of the mirror is a lot different. LED light that's integrated into the mirror there for the turn signal, kind of understated. Plus you've got these little wings there under the mirror. And it's almost like they wanted you to see the indicator in that mirror. Oh, look at that. There's an antenna on this one. But there's also a shark fin thing back there. You see the shark fin? What's odd is that the 16 does not have an antenna, but it also has the shark fin. I don't know what that's all about. 15 has 2 antennas. The door handles are color keyed and chrome. The handle for the 15 is just straight up chrome. The 16 has smart access with push button start. The 15 does not. So here's the difference between the keys of the 2. The one on the right is the 16, the one on the left is the 15. You can see the one on the left is the key with the key fob there, so you still have the ignition that you use to start the truck. And on the 16, none of that. All you do is this. So I would say advantage 16 in that regard, smart access operation versus regular key. Now this is something that's kind of small, but it's worth noting in my opinion. You see these black weather stripping? See that? No weather stripping on the 16. So it's those little fender flare things, their body, you know, they match the body without a black line that goes in between where they connect to the body. And a lot of times, if this truck were white or a light color, and if it sits for a while, or if you go a while without washing it, the residue from these can run down and actually cause black lines to run down the paint or the body of the vehicle. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. You see that? There's weather stripping right here at the base of the window, and you can see it's kind of faint, but you can see it right there, here. See that? So it's just, and it happens on all cars. It's just the nature of this rubber weather stripping, and then residue from that, from rainwater, comes and just, you know, it is what it is. Another thing is that this is black on the Limited. I don't understand that. I guess they just wanted to have some type of visual differentiation, but that's black on this one, color coded to the body. There's no differentiation. I actually like that better. I don't know, when you actually look at it, that looks kind of funky. The Tacoma on the right has park assist. You can see there are dots on the far ends, the left and right of the bumper. See the little black dots? That's park assist. So those are the sonar sensors that beep if you get too close to something. The 15 does not have that. Now both trucks have backup cameras, but I like the design of the backup camera on the 15 much better than the 16. I'll show you why. You see that on the right side? There's your backup camera, and it's really well integrated into the tailgate. If you back up from that a little bit, you can't even really see it. Here's the backup camera on the 16. Big old thing that's right there. You see how it sticks out right there? And so I don't know why they took it out from being integrated into the handle, but you got the big Toyota thing. That's pretty cool, kind of retro. Also the Tacoma along the bottom of the tailgate. Now it looks like the beds on both trucks are basically identical. I've really not been able to find any differences. Here's the 16, here's the 15. Both have that sweet outlet right there. I love that. That's just the coolest thing. A couple little storage compartments, these big knuckles that you can slide around and move for tie down stuff. Big fat huge bolts there in the floor. That looks, I think the beds are pretty much the same. This one has that really cool bed cover, and I think that's an add-on thing. Red and white, red up top, white on the bottom, and the 15 is just an intermingling of red and white and then orange halogen blinker at the top. Looks like you've got LED right there for the brake maybe. The bumpers are different. You see that one is metal, that one is color coded to the body. Now that we've tackled the outside, let's hop inside these trucks and see what the differences are on the interior. On the inside of the door there, this is the 15. You can see that it's very clean. Everything's well put together. It's basically all plastic. There's a little bit of a soft material right there. That's plastic there, and bottle holders, power window in the back, handle with your door lock, and then in the back seat, everything's very clean, no frills, very simple. A couple of cup holders, second row seat there, a tab right there that you can pull. First what you would do is take this headrest off. This would be folded up, and there's a tab right there that you would pull. See that? So you'd pull that up, take that headrest off, and at that point you can then fold this down all the way down, and it'll come flat, making this storage area. That's why there's this hard plastic stuff on the back of that seat, so that you can throw items into the back of the truck. So that's a handy dandy feature there. The 16 is a different animal. You can see, starting by the door design, you've got a brushed aluminum look there around the power window switch, chrome accent on the door handle, and then you've got this soft material there, and it kind of looks like leather. It's not though, but it just has a more distinct look, more classy. Even the carpet, it looks like it's like a high pile carpet, like a Berber that would be in a house. Very nice, very nice. And then the seat material, the one over on the 15 is just like one solid, kind of canvas. And this has this material that's in between that just makes it stand out. It's not really, I don't think it's that much of a benefit per se, but it does have a much different look than the seat of the 15, but it has the same basic system like we saw in the 15. You pull that up and then you pull that down. But this just looks like there was more attention paid to there being a level of luxury almost in the 16 as opposed to the 15. Now let's look at the front, and it's basically the same setup, in the 15 as it is in the back of the 15. So just kind of function over look. Your square air registers right here for your climate system. And everything, again, like I said, is just kind of plain. But you're really not buying a truck for super luxurious reasons. Although it is nice to have some pretty stuff in your truck. Anyway, so there's your nav screen and your infotainment dials here for your climate system. Heated seats, that's always nice. A couple of cubbies, you've got cup holders, a big cubby there, a couple of auxiliary power points. Your shifting for your four-wheel high, four-wheel low, and just kind of basic setup of stuff. Not bad at all. There's your voice commands, there's your Bluetooth, steering wheel audio controls, and now to the 16. Same thing, of course, as you would see in the back of the 16. However, automatic one-touch window. Also, another thing that I just noticed, blind spot monitor. See that? So the 16 has blind spot. Then you have your circular air vents. Remember, the air registers on the 15 were square. These are circular. I like these better. The reason is because you can just get all kinds of angles there. You can go all over the place, and then to shut it off, you just do that. You don't have the thing, the little wheel that you spin at the bottom to cut it on and off. It's just one operation right there. That is a fantastic design. Then you've got that soft touch material here on your dash with the stitching. I doubt it's hand stitched or anything, but that doesn't matter. It does give a certain look to it. You've got those cool Tacoma block letters there on the glove box, and you can tell that there was just more design thought as far as a luxury aspect is concerned almost. Yes, it has all the same form and function of the 15 model, but there's just a lot more luxury attention paid to it. The bolstering on the seats here is really, really nice on the 16, and these seats just look like they would be more inviting. So here's the seat on the 16. Seat on the 15. Now, I'm not saying the seat on the 15 would be uncomfortable or anything, but it just stands in stark contrast to what the comfort level looks like on the 16. That 16 seat looks kind of cuddly. If I'm being honest, it looks a little snuggly. And now this is where you're going to see big differences. Look at this panel here. On the 15, all the buttons, there were a lot of buttons that were, kind of separate from that panel. On this one, it's all integrated into one nice display for the infotainment. And I love that. I love how that setup is. And also, Toyota designed that so that it would resist fingerprints. And so, you can kind of see them a little bit, but it's really easy just to take a little thing and wipe it down with a thing. JBL stereo, the other one had JBL stereo. Heated seat controls are right there. nice and easy. And then you can see the climate system is going to be a lot different in this one, just 3 big silver dials. And we looked at the 4-wheel drive system on the other one. It's more like a switch that you click and turn. This is just a dial that you turn there. There's that push button start like we saw earlier. The other one has the ignition still with the key. Blind spot monitor, we saw that before. ECT power is electronically controlled transmission. For power. Park assist, that's what we saw earlier. USB and auxiliary. And then this one, that's called a Qi wireless charger. So you can take your cell phone and just put it on this mat right there, and when that's on, it'll charge your cell phone. That's pretty cool. And as I did mention before, both trucks do have a backup camera, but they're not as good as the cameras on my socks. Boom is what I'm wearing today. And these are the most comfortable socks I've ever put on my feet. These are fantastic. These are great socks. And they're cameras. And so here's the steering wheel, and you can see on the right side of the steering wheel, that's multi-information display. I think on the right side of the other one, it was steering wheel audio controls only. Then on the left side is steering wheel audio controls, voice commands, and Bluetooth. So what Toyota has done has added this center display there, control for the center display all right here, and that is just so cool. There's so many different things that you can do with that center display. Right now I'm having to resist showing you the infotainment system and stuff because I love electronics, and as y'all know, I'm the world's biggest nerd, but I'm not going to show you the infotainment systems of the 2 trucks just because I promised myself I would not. So, like I said, this video is only about showing you the basic differences between the 2 trucks, both inside and out. So, I'm resisting showing you infotainment. But, thank you so much for watching. I hope this helps you enjoy your ride, and if you're looking at a 2015 Tacoma versus a 2016 Tacoma, I hope this helps you pick whichever one you want. Again, the 15 is an amazing truck. There's just a lot of differences between the 2. And you know, you got to make improvements year over year. So I hope this helps you factor all of that into your buying process. Please feel free to leave any comments in the comment section below, and I'll be happy to answer them as soon as I'm able. But remember, the most important thing of all, have a wonderful day, everybody.